There's a ton of concern about this virus spreading in places like schools. Contact tracing is one way to see where this virus has been. That way you can isolate people and slow the spread. Problem is, our state isn't really great at doing it. 10 Investigates Jenna Bourne tells you in her new YouTube episode of What's Brewing, contact tracing in Florida, it's been a hot mess.
Contact tracers reach out to people who've tested positive for COVID-19, find out who else they may have infected, then warn those people. Florida may have spent too little too late on contact tracing. Governor Ron DeSantis said this on July 7th.
I've already green-lighted $138 million for the Department of Health to support not just contact tracing, but other personnel.
But even that new injection of funding clearly wasn't enough, because here in Tampa Bay, both Hillsborough and Pinellas Departments of Health asked their county governments for more funding for contact tracing. Pinellas County tells me it's going to spend about $43 million of its CARES Act funding from the feds on contact tracing and other public health measures. And Hillsborough County issued an emergency purchase order of $750,000 in CARES Act funding.
Places like Tampa Bay region, where it's spiking pretty significantly right now, it's going to be really hard for contact tracers to keep up. Certainly with the current numbers, and even if you augment it, we're really behind the eight ball, quite frankly.
Even if we had the recommended number of contact tracers, many Floridians are waiting 1 to 2 weeks to get their COVID test results.
The delay is maddening and potentially harmful.
Has the ship sailed for Florida on contact tracing?
It's very difficult to effectively conduct contact tracing if you don't have rapid turnaround, because in the amount of time it takes to get that test result, those people have already interacted with so many other people in the public that it makes it extremely difficult to control the infection.
Especially if it also takes days for a contact tracer to reach out.
I would say it was 5 days after I was initially diagnosed, the contact tracer called me to ask me about where I had been and what I had been doing. And then the following day, they actually called me again. I think that they maybe thought that they hadn't called me or I was still on some list.
While Sara says she was called twice, we've also heard from Florida COVID patients like ER nurse Danielle Weaver, who say they never heard from a contact tracer.
Up until the point where I tested positive, I had been working and, in a pretty high risk job. They didn't ask me about any of the coworkers I had been working with or any of the patients I had taken care of.
I put in a public records request for the number of Florida COVID patients who've actually been contacted by a contact tracer, but I haven't heard back yet.
That's been a common theme too. Our 10i team asks all the time, yet plenty of times we don't get a response, but they're going to keep trying because that's what we do. Now, we do want to take a deeper dive into Maximus. This is the outside contractor that Florida hired to supplement contact tracing here in our state. So the Department of Health says Maximus will supply the state another 400 contact tracers, but we don't have all those additional contact tracers yet. They are still in the hiring process. Jenna put in a public records request for the state's contract with Maximus weeks ago, but has yet to get a response. She also takes a deeper dive into why the state doesn't seem to know exactly how many contact tracers it has or what counties they're in. That is all in her new episode of the YouTube series, What's Brewing. You can find it on our YouTube channel, The Deeper Dive. It's really easy to find, guys. Take out your phone right now, point it right at the screen. You're going to want to aim it at that QR code. When you do that, a code will pop up right on your tablet or your phone. You can click that notification and it'll take you directly to our YouTube page. Certainly something you guys want to check out.